Welcome to the Ohio University Intramural Tennis Captains video. This video, along with the Captain's Manual and the tennis rulebook, should help you pass your Captain's Quiz. Before we get into the sport-specific rules, we're going to go over some general policies and procedures for intramural sports. Listed here is our contact information. We are located in the Ping Recreation Center, and our office is open Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop by, call us, or shoot us an email. So what are your responsibilities as a captain? As a captain, we expect that you are familiar with all of our rules and policies and that you inform your teammates of all of these rules. You also need to check the eligibility of all your team members and make sure that your team on IM League meets the player minimum. And finally, as the captain, you need to set the example of sportsmanship and make sure that you are respectful of other participants and the IM staff. Here at OU, we have a couple of different league layouts. In every league and sport, we will offer Co-Ed A, Co-Ed B, men's and women's leagues. Within these different variations, we offer competitive leagues and recreation leagues. Competitive leagues have 3 regular season games and a playoff afterwards. In recreational leagues, you just have 5 regular season games and no playoffs. Game time is forfeit time. This means that if your team does not arrive on time or you do not have enough players to start the game, your team will be issued a forfeit. You can also be issued a forfeit if you are caught using an ineligible player, or if your team receives 3 yellow cards in the same game, you will receive a forfeit. Once again, game time is forfeit time, but you can default from games if you know that you will not be there. In order to default, the captain can notify us by 4 p.m. the day of your game, or by 4 p.m. on Fridays if you have a Sunday game. You can do this in person or through email. It's important to note that we do not accept defaults over the phone. If your team does forfeit a game and you are in a competitive league, you will need to pay a $20 reinstatement fee by the day before the bracket selection in order to participate in the playoffs. So who is eligible to play? Any Athens campus student enrolled in 1 credit hour is eligible to participate in intramural sports, and any faculty and staff member can participate if they purchase a faculty and staff pass. In competitive leagues, there are restrictions for club athletes and varsity athletes. If you are trying to participate on a team in a similar sport than what your club or varsity team is, the competitive leagues can only have 2 club athletes per roster, and varsity athletes cannot play in competitive leagues. Once again, this is only if it's a similar sport. Roster additions must happen online before the game begins. Players need to purchase a membership pass and add themselves to your roster before the game begins. You can purchase 3 types of membership passes: an annual pass, which will let you play any sport for the whole academic year, a semester pass, which lets you play any sport for that semester, or a season pass, which lets you play any sport for that specific season. For competitive teams, it's important to know that your rosters are locked after your last regular season game and no more additions are allowed. Each team does have a few responsibilities. Like we just mentioned, all players must have an IM Leagues account. You should try to arrive to the game 15 minutes beforehand. You must bring a government-issued ID, a photo ID, with you to your games. All players are required to wear appropriate footwear, which includes not wearing metal cleats. We also ask that all players bring a light and a dark colored jersey, but no gray, as that can be confused as light or dark. That way, if your team shows up wearing the same color as the other team, you'll already have a backup jersey to change into. Please also review the list of illegal equipment below, and note that jewelry is not accepted in any intramural sports. You are also not allowed to tape the jewelry, so please just do not wear it. Sportsmanship is very important in intramural sports. Each game you'll receive a sportsmanship grade. which is an A through an E. We then use this grade and calculate it like a GPA to find out what your sportsmanship grade really is. For competitive teams, you need to have a 2.5 to make the playoffs, and rec teams a 2.5 to stay in your league. Captains, it is your responsibility at the end of the game to approach our staff and find out what grade they gave you so that you know if it's entered right onto imleagues.com or not. You can protest a few things in intramural sports: eligibility, sportsmanship, and rule misinterpretations. If you protest a rule misinterpretation, it has to happen at the field before the next dead ball. And if you protest your eligibility or sportsmanship, you may protest it at the field or by 4 p.m. the next day in writing to our office. All matches are played according to UTSA rules. To win a match, you must win 2 out of 3 sets. However, during the regular season and in all recreational leagues, play all 3 sets. To win a set, you need to win 6 games, of course winning by 2 games. And to win a game, the scoring is love 15, 30, 40, and then you've won the game. All matches are played without the supervision of competitive sports staff. You do this by having a play-by date. IM Leagues will list a date and time that you need to play the game by, and you need to then email the score and who won the match to the graduate assistant in charge of tennis that semester. It is important to note that you do not need to play on the date listed, you just need to play before that date and email the GA by the time they tell you. The GA will also provide you with the opponent's email address at the beginning of the season so that you can set up when you will play each match. If you have any questions, feel free to contact the Competitive Sports Office. Good luck this season.